Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for being a part of U.T.O.P.I.A's virtual Lū'au 2020. I want to send out a special thank you to Taffy Miney Johnson for having us this evening. And so we're going to sing a couple of songs for you guys, celebrating the different Pacific Island cultures that we have in our community. And so please go ahead and enjoy as we go forth with our Lū'au opening. Here we go. 5, 6, 7,
You make me sing, you make me sad, you make me glad, you make me laugh for you. I love you, hate you, but I wanna tell the world, stop searching for whatever you do. I'll never, never, never wanna be in love with anyone but you. You make me laugh, you make me cry, you make me live, you make me die for you. You make me sing, you make me sad, you make me glad, you make me laugh for you. I love you, hate you, but I wanna tell the world, stop searching for whatever you do. I'll never, never, never wanna be in love with anyone but you. For whatever you do, I'll never, never, never wanna be in love with anyone but you. With anyone but you. I'll never, never, never want to be in love with anyone but you. I'll never, never, never want to be in love.
Hello, my name is Jeremiah Allen, and I am the co-chair alongside Isis Hanan for U.T.O.P.I.A. I am Black and Indigenous from the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians, Nimi-Pu Tribe, and Ogallala Sioux Tribe.
Talafalava alo'ingo aisasanga tipuhanen. My pronouns are Sunga, a Samoan feminine pronoun. Also she and her. I am from the beautiful village of Pagopago in American Samoa. I live and work on the traditional land of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish people, past and present, and honor with boundless gratitude the land itself and the Duwamish tribe.
In addition to that, we also just wanted to take a time to acknowledge that in the United States, no matter where you live and work, that this land was not only built on the genocide and removal of Indigenous people, but also on the forced labor and enslavement of Black and African folks. And so in addition to that, just because there's so much that has been going on this past week in all of our communities and such heaviness, we also just wanted to take a moment and acknowledge and show respect, love for the folks in our communities that have lost their lives to anti-Blackness and police brutality. So first, Tony McDade was a Black trans man from Tallahassee, Florida, who lost his life and was killed by police earlier this week. George Floyd, killed by police in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Breonna Taylor, a Black woman killed in Kentucky, and so many other Black folks who lost their lives at the hands of police. We also wanted to show respect and so much love to Black women, Black trans women, and femmes specifically, who continue to care for our community in so many ways and still experience violence at disproportionate rates. And so just before we begin and get into this show, we just wanted to take a moment of silence with everyone. So wherever you're at, if you can just be in this moment with us.
Thank you, Jeremiah. At U.T.O.P.I.A, we strongly believe that the liberation of our ancestors, our loved ones, and the communities here with us now, and our future generations is tied to the liberation of our Black siblings. We will never be free until our Black siblings are free. Sending prayers and thoughts will not bring justice. There is no justice when we are silent. There's no justice when we are not actively working to end and erase white supremacy from existence. Justice for all is fighting for Black liberation. Anti-Black racism isn't unique to the United States. It exists in Oceania and every part of the world, and it continues to fester and grow as white supremacy intended through colonialism, genocide, erasure, and enslavement. Please join U.T.O.P.I.A in addressing and fighting against anti-Black racism through your conversations with your loved ones, in your churches, in places of work, in your schools, and in the communities you come from. Your healing and liberation is tied in with the liberation of our Black siblings. Our Pasifika people will never be free until they are free. So please feel free to reach out to the amazing staff of U.T.O.P.I.A for support in starting those conversations and to learn the different ways you can do this hard work, wherever you come from. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Isis. Before we started, we also wanted to acknowledge our sponsors for our 4-part series, and today we are happy to do our second show. So our sponsors for our 4-part series are first, the Hibiscus level is Group Health Foundation. And our Bird of Paradise level, we have Alaska Airlines, as well as United Indians of All Tribe Foundation. And for our Plumeria level, we have Pride Foundation, as well as Malina Healthcare of Washington, as well as Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation.
And to start off our show, we would like to introduce our lovely host. Her name is Arrianna Princess Auva'a. She is 34 years of age from the beautiful village of in American Samoa. She is a proud transgender female soldier in the United States Army, active duty, serving as the voice of the Marne in Fort Stewart, Georgia. She's also the creator and founder of Coco Comedy and Coco News. Please give some love to our lovely host. Thank you.
Hello once again, friends, and all of you beautiful people tuning in to our virtual in-Lū'au hosted by the U.T.O.P.I.A in Seattle. Thank you once again for joining me and all of U.T.O.P.I.A in celebration of our Pacific and Polynesian cultures. So wherever you are tuning in from around the world, whatever corner of this earth that you are watching from, cheers to you. It is time to let your hair down, put your feet up, get yourselves a drink, and let's get ready to have a good time. So tonight we are about to show to you, give to you, and present to you some of the beautiful talents from around the Pacific, from our very own natives of Samoa, the natives of Tonga, natives around our Asian Pacific realms. So are you ready to have a blast with us? I believe you are. Once again, my name is Arrianna Princess Auva'a, and I am here to serve you. Once again, let me introduce to you all our opening performers with our beautiful openers. We have Manu Samoa Henry Sataraka and Della Renta Tunupopo. Born and raised in beautiful Hawaii, Manu Samoa Henry Sataraka is an active cultural practitioner. He is the CEO and lead director of Leleina O'Aina, known best as LOA, a nonprofit organization that strives to preserve and perpetuate the Samoan culture through the teachings of Samoan arts, language, as well as the upkeep of traditional practices. Samoa is also the director and CEO of the newly reborn Miss Samoa Hawaii pageant. Aside from his cultural works in the community, he is also an advocate for the LGBTI issues and their rights for equality. Della Renta Tunupopo is from the villages of Whangaitua and Pango, American Samoa, residing in Kent, Washington, and is a proud Fa'afafine whose pronouns are she and her. Growing up as a Fa'afafine was not easy for her. There were rough times and also challenging ones too. But as life goes on, through her talents and passion for music, it made things easier for her to live freely, as you've heard her earlier. She believes It does not matter what people say, think, or feel. What matters most is who you are. Be a star and live your life to the fullest. Once again, friends and all of you lovely people, how about a big round of applause for our opening numbers, all of U.T.O.P.I.A Seattle, and this beautiful night we're about to have. So cheers to you, and cheers to our opening act. Let me hydrate there. That was just a mouthful, and just a lot. All right. Continuing on with our show. So, aside from the entertainment, me, and all that U.T.O.P.I.A has to offer, we also have a fundraising that we are doing to gain some funds in order for us to help give back to the community, the LGBTIQ community, Washington, and U.T.O.P.I.A has also reached out around the world helping a lot of people. So we welcome you. There's a link down below that you can just click on to donate whatever you would like to donate. But if you don't know and have an amount that you can donate, I have a few clues and some ideas for you that can help ease up how much you want to donate. So let's start with some beautiful numbers. Let's say you want to donate $20, $10, or $5, right? To give $10, $15, $20 for the work of Seattle. Any amount at any level is greatly appreciated. The most important thing is that everyone gives at the level that is comfortable to you. And we, U.T.O.P.I.A Seattle, and all of our allies will always be grateful. Unless you want to give $40 or more, there's 4 Talanoa forums hosted annually by U.T.O.P.I.A Seattle. This is a space where we lift up stories of QTPIs and use those stories to challenge the systems and beliefs that do not support our lived experiences. Talanoa empowers QTPIs to speak up and raise concerns, questions regarding institutions that they are most impacted by. Please help us to continue providing Talanoas in King County and make movements, change systems, and community. So those are just a few ideas that we're just pitching to you to help you make a donation. But anything that you can give to help U.T.O.P.I.A Seattle and the community, we greatly welcome and we are grateful. So there's a link below or in the comment section. Click on it and help us help U.T.O.P.I.A Seattle, help the community. All right, lovelies. Folks, we have something else, a raffle. Continuing on from our raffle from last week, we are raffling, not giving away. Let me hail that back in. We are selling raffle tickets, $10 each, for two round trip tickets sponsored by Alaska Airlines. Now each ticket is raffled off individually, and the tickets will take you anywhere around the United States of America. Yes, if it's a state, that ticket will take you to it. So also in the comment section or a link in the screen right here, click on it and buy yourself a ticket. Do not miss out on this chance to win yourself a free $1,200, $3,000 worth of a ticket. My numbers are not right, but come on, guys. And all the money that you will be purchasing your tickets with go into great cause. All righty. We're going to continue on with our show. We have the beautiful Harry and Dell that open our show, and they will also be closing our show. And we have a great lineup with us. We have a great performance by Chris Emery. Then we have Sweetie's Catering. And then we have Lanua Dance Group with another performance by Manu Samoa and Della Renta. So I promise you this, If I can't promise you no bish bish from me, I promise you a great lineup of entertainment. So if I do throw a little bit of and mispronounce some things, I do apologize. It's been a long, you can attack me after. But now I would like to introduce to you Chris Emery. Chris Emery is an artist with a specific interest in poetry and film. Chris is fascinated by the way we navigate the world so rapidly, yet simultaneously exist in the still, static, and unquestionable realities of the roles we are given. Within their work, Chris explores the phenomena through themes of identity, responsibility, dreams, and mortality. Learning on their experiences as a Fa'afine who grew up in Tutuila, Chris's main goal right now is to articulate what all this really means to them, informed by an inherent desire for truth and a well spent life with regards to cultural values, both of their ancestors and the world that surrounds them today. Friends, please, a round of applause for Chris Emery.
Hi, Talo Falava. My name is Chris Emery. I'm a multidisciplinary artist with specific interest in poetry and film, and I'm really honored to have this opportunity to perform as part of U.T.O.P.I.A Seattle's virtual in-Lieu'au experience for Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month and Pride Month. The poem that you're about to hear contains some troubling images. It's about climate change and how it affects the Pacific and the world at large. So just letting you know beforehand, it might be rather triggering. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy this performance. And yes, thank you guys for tuning in. A quiet state of paranoia settles into the Pasifika, as if it was a part of our daily rhythm. After the prayer, after the protocol, when the village notices that the sunset, it weeps for us, afraid that we won't be here when it gets back. We address our relationship to the earth through the lens of a tragic motherhood. We call ourselves her children, consider our humanity a mom's worst nightmare. Do we infantilize ourselves to feel less guilty for the crimes we commit against her? And isn't it funny that we refer to the planet with female pronouns so as to suggest that female bodies are the default recipient of our recklessness? How do you live with clear conscience under an administration that carves cemeteries out of national parks, calls it the solution to the housing crisis, gives the deforestation a name that looks good on paper and doesn't visit us in guilt? An administration that would rather watch the ocean devour an island nation before it could know sovereignty. An administration that makes an ultimatum between our quality of life and the health of the environment. Why is a ballot our best shot at safety? That for some reason, by just living in the Pasifika, we know how to sink better than the rest of the world. Watch as Micronesia sinks too. Watch as Melanesia sinks too. Watch for the oil rig sunsets that made a funeral home out of our ocean. Watch for the day that our mountains are sea level. But a quiet state of paranoia has settled into the Pasifika, as if it was a part of our daily rhythm. After the prayer, after the protocol, when the village notices that the sunset weeps for us, afraid that we won't be here when it gets back.
Malo falava, malo lele, kia ora, g'day mate, and woman jinka. Greetings everyone, my name is Catalina. I am the Vice President for the U.T.O.P.I.A Australia page. I'm also the founder of the Trans Pride March here in Melbourne, Australia. Just that I'll come here and say hello to everybody and officially say thank you. We are so honoured and privileged to be part of the whole U.T.O.P.I.A family all over the world. And we're just so fortunate and filled with so much gratitude to be part of that family. We are in your group, and so we're just building our way up there, and hopefully one day that we have the opportunity to come to U.T.O.P.I.A in Seattle to meet you all, and we can share some thoughts and get some advice and see how you operate so we can adapt that to our U.T.O.P.I.A Australia family. And a special shout out to Tony Fretton, who actually formed the group here in Australia, and also a big shout out to Marky, the director at Pacific X, and my biggest love and gratitude to everybody at U.T.O.P.I.A. Thank you, everybody.
Naona faa
So say ile pua Samoa masuki sa ula lemoso imanomi fatu sau pese itese ngamali ia ngana esele matango
So I'm going to bring on our performers. Please welcome Chris, Dave Emery, and Talitha Mane.
Hi, Ariana.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. That was beautiful. The performances that were just showcased were very, very beautiful, from the multicolored costumes to the scenery to the choreography and your choice of music. Ah,
Yes.
I'm in love.
It's all due credit to, this was a combination of groups. It was La Nuola, but also the with the help of Lotutoa Entertainment with the Lolongo sisters. So all the credit goes to these beautiful girls, because these dances were arranged and choreographed by our choreographers, Opel Adar, and also Temu Lolongo, and with the help of her sisters. So our instructors are amazing. So
That is great. That is beautiful. Like, where do you find your inspiration for?
well, La Nuola was, and the Tautua and all of these dance groups that we work with, just basically stem from the works that we initially started in Federal Way with Federal Pacific Islanders Club, and we wanted to bring the beautifulness of Federal Way into the greater community of Samoa and the Pacific community here in Washington. And so we opened an academy from ages 5 on up, and anyone over the age of 18. So technically anyone can come and learn Siva Samoa if they wish.
Anybody can learn.
Yes.
Welcome, Chris.
Hi, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Oh, okay, good.
Praise
Good. Yeah, awesome.
Well, I appreciate your artistry as well, and your work as you performed earlier, your choice of words. Where do you find your inspiration, and how did that piece come about?
That piece, even down to the mannerisms that I show while I'm giving it, where I'm sitting with my hand on my elbow, on my knees, came from listening to stories from my elders. Even down to the tone that I deliver the poem through, it's very inspired by the assertive and poetic tone of, Atula Fale. And I try to integrate that essence into mediums, whatever it is that I decide to go into out here in, more Western cultures, because I feel like that shit is bomb. And those essences are what really defines the artistic Samoan culture for me. So it's an honor to be on here.
And it's an honor to have witnessed your work and to listen to that and to see even how you have staged the whole filming of it. Everything just came to. It was bravo. And I'm very I'm sure that our audience has enjoyed both of your from the La Nuola dance troupe to your poetry. I hope, and for the La Nuola, I hope your academy continues to grow, and this is the wish of U.T.O.P.I.A Seattle as well, because not only are you teaching, but you are instilling and keeping the culture alive. And by culture, it's not just through dance. You're also teaching the cultural values that we have, not just as Samoans, but as Polynesian people.
Yes.
And Chris, continue to inspire.
Got you, homegirl. Oh, boy.
Mane, any last words for us and for our audience?
Just wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my Tautua kids, all of our La Nuola kids. Just stay safe during this time, and we miss you all. And hopefully we get back to normal soon.
Don't we all? Thank you very much, Mane. And thank you also to the La Nuola dance group. Chris, any last words, any advice to our young viewers and to everybody that's listening in and watching?
If you're going into the arts, this is specifically for, you know, Aukalavo, like Samoan youth. If you feel indifferent to traditional culture and how the essence of it can inform what you're doing today, I highly suggest you just take a closer look. Your ancestors are passing on these little tools for you, and you run with it and you proliferate and you just, yeah, you grow. So, and going back to what De La Renta said, always choose to be a superstar. Ayo.
Amen.
Feel
Amen.
now.
Well, thank you both once again for joining us. Utopia, Seattle, and everyone that's watching, and myself continue to wish you guys growth, love, and happiness. And of course, the dash of success. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that was La Nuola Dance Group and Chris Emery. Now they're saying goodbye. Utopia Seattle has grown so much over the years, from Frisco to Seattle, or Utopia to Seattle, down to San Diego, to Vegas, now in Australia. But I would love to introduce some of my favorite people, or one of my favorite Utopias, aside from Utopia Seattle, of course. I would like to introduce for a video spotlight or Utopia spotlight for Utopia, New York City, the Great Apple, or the Big Apple. It can be great too.
Aloilele, my name is Henry Aho, and I'm one of the directors of Utopia NYC. I'm happy to share some of the work that we're doing here in New York City. Firstly, let me give you a little background of how we came to be. In 2009, Cedric Varnesi from Utopia San Francisco had a conversation with myself and also Sanele Mangeo, who's originally from American Samoa, but has lived here in New York City for a great number of years. The idea was to establish a group of like-minded Pacific Islanders here in the city to actually participate in the Pride March, of which New York's is one of the largest in the world. From then on, Utopia NYC very informally drew a great number of people, both within and outside the state as well. Utopia NYC has primarily been set around pride marches, getting people together to join together to form a contingency for the Pride March, and has done so since 2010 when they first marched down Fifth Avenue. At first with a very small group of people, and up until 2019 with World Pride here, we were able to attract quite a number of people from outside the state, also in, and also some of our allies as well, who are working for the United Nations and also in the private sector here in New York City. We were formally incorporated in 2019 with the state of New York, and our mission basically is to provide this safe space to strengthen the resilience of Pacific Islanders with diverse sexual orientations and gender identities through cultural stewardship, outreach, volunteerism, and advocacy, while building alliances. So most of our social activities still remain in preparing for Pride. So Pride is usually a 3-day event for us. So we usually start on Friday, where we have the Lū'au that actually welcomes all those who will be joining us for the march. A Lū'au is on the Friday. On the Saturday, we usually have a picnic and then allow everyone to get to see the city, especially those who are actually visiting. And then Sunday is the big event where we march down Fifth Avenue. We usually have a barbecue on the Monday when people start to leave back to their own states, for those who have actually visited. Moving forward, probably in post-COVID-19 lockdown, U.T.O.P.I.A NYC will seek to see how we can promote the arts, especially because we've got quite a few Pacific Islanders here in New York City who are artists. So if we can find a way to provide a platform to actually showcase Pacifica art here in New York City and find some partnerships through the United Nations network or otherwise, that would be something that we'd really like to build upon. In any case, if you're ever in New York City, you should be very aware that you have friends here. So give us a call. We find any excuse to get together from time to time, if not to share some Pacific Island foods, or just have, a good old hearty Pacifica laugh if we can. Life is tough enough as it is. And so it's good if you find your own people in a big city like New York. You're more than welcome to reach out, because we're very happy to take anyone around, and also to let you know that you're most welcome whenever you're here in the city. Thank you so much.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. My bad. I wasn't made aware we were back online. So, all right, friends, we're going to continue on with our program. We are trying to reintroduce Sweetie's Catering, but we are having difficulty and problems with that. We apologize to Sweetie's Catering. Their pre-recorded video is not working for us on our end. That is totally on us, but we are working on it. But at this time, we would like to thank you all and our sponsors. But if you're still looking for, if you still are wanting to donate, and if you still need some ideas and some clues of what to donate, let me give you one last an idea. Since the beginning of this year, U.T.O.P.I.A Seattle has engaged and provided assistance to 97 queer and trans-sex workers in King County through street outreach, individualized services, and support groups. What we want to make sure is that our community has access with no barriers to safe sex supplies and testing. We want to make sure that there are equipment and they are equipped with safety tools and harm reductions, a strategy so they can remain safe and protected while engaging in sex work. U.T.O.P.I.A Seattle is proud to continue providing this safe space for queer and gender diverse sex workers. Would you like to donate? You can donate $97 so that we can continue to keep our sex worker community safe and ensure that they have access to the resources necessary for them to remain healthy and protected. That's just another idea of how you can donate, the amount you can donate. But again, as we have mentioned earlier, we are happy to receive anything you can give to us, anything you give from 5, 10, 15, whatever amount. We are grateful and we will be in deep gratitude. But enough about that. Earlier you heard the angelic voice of the beautiful Del. Folks, I would like to bring back the beautiful and the marvelous Adela Renta Tunupopo. Big round of applause.
Talofalava. I'd like to dedicate this song to lift up trans women of color and Black Lives Matter who suffer from violence due to discrimination and racism. Imagine by John Lennon. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No
living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No greed for hunger, a brotherhood of men. Oh, imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Yeah. And the world will be as Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Folks, that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dedication and tribute. Thank you very much, De La Renza, for that. Such an amazing talent that you have. And props to you. I've always wanted to sing. I always wanted to sing, and I kept praying that I could sing. And I think I still can sing. Friends, thank you for joining us today, and we would like to formally apologize to Sweetie's Catering for the technical difficulties that we have on our end with your pre-recorded video. But we will fix it, and we will show it on our part 3 of our virtual in-Lū'au. And we would also like to apologize to our audience for the technical difficulties as well. Our staff here at U.T.O.P.I.A Seattle are working diligently to fix the problems, and we will post the entire show for you all to watch either later on tonight or on a later date. But for now, friends, we are going to end this show. I would end it with a song from me, but then we'll quickly y'all will just shut off the lives as if they've never shut off earlier. But we would like to thank our sponsors once again and all of our performers. Again, we do have our fundraising, that we have our raffle tickets that are for sale for $10 per ticket for 2 different individual trip tickets sponsored by Alaska Airlines that will once again take you anywhere you want to go around the entire United States of America. Again, if it's a state, you can travel to it using these tickets. If I could afford it, I will pay for a round-trip ticket around the world for myself, not for you all. Maybe your husbands or boyfriends. But friends, once again, I would like to say thank you to our sponsors. Hold up, now I'm having some paper technical difficulties. From the HIBISCUS level, we have our Group Health Foundation. Our Bird of Paradise level are Alaska Airlines and United Indians of All Tribes Foundation. Our Plumeria level, we have Pride Foundation, Molina Healthcare of Washington, Willa Mendoza of Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation in Auburn, Paris Insurance Services. Thank you to all of our beautiful performers once again. Thank you to U.T.O.P.I.A Seattle and all of our sister branches of U.T.O.P.I.A that were showcased tonight from Australia and to New York City. Join us next week. Do not forget, next week, Friday, same time. That'll be 10 p.m. my time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or Pacific Daylight Time. So wherever you are in this world, U.T.O.P.I.A Seattle will always be sharing the posters and rosters to announce different times and to remind you all of this raffle. Hello, don't miss out. And again, if you would like to make a donation to help continue the work of U.T.O.P.I.A for the QTPI and LGBTI community of Washington and for all of our people, please don't be shy. Reach into your wallets, open your phones up, bank accounts, and help us. Once again, friends, families, and all you beautiful people in the lovely audience, thank you for tuning in. Mahalo lelei, tofa soifua, aloha, and good night.